What's good, everybody? This your boy Carlton Irvin. Welcome to the Philly Fantasy John podcast. In this episode, I want to talk about three potential breakout players for 2025. They are all quarterbacks, but before I talk about that, I'm gonna let y'all know, you can see by the background, I am a Philadelphia Eagles fan. So we won the Super Bowl the last season, and that's good and everything. Second Super Bowl in 8 years. Cool. Life is good in Philly. But here's what I want to discuss real quick. I don't get all the hate on Jalen Hurts. This is just my little rant before I go into the potential breakout players. But look, it seems as if people are punishing Jalen Hurts because he was on a stacked team. But I've watched Jalen Hurts all year. I've watched him as an Eagles fan since he's came in here. The dude is a winner at the end of the day. You can't punish a player for having a great team around him. Football is a team sport. So I don't get why people are so mad that the Eagles team was stacked. Every team has a part to play. Like people have their positions they have to play. Like if your GM sucks and he can't build a team like that, then how you gonna blame Jalen Hurts? Like, obviously, Howie Roseman is the man. He knows how to build a team, and he built a team around Jalen Hurts. He's done it with other QBs too. When Carson Wentz was in MVP mode before he got injured, he was built on a good team. I wouldn't say it was stacked because it was kind of like lightning in the pan for that 2017 Eagles team. But Howie Roseman has shown that he can build a team around his quarterbacks. And that's what you need. Like you can't do it by yourself. But when Jalen Hurts has been asked to win games, he has won games. So like I don't get this whole sentiment that Jalen Hurts is not as good as people like he's not as good. He's not a top 10 quarterback. Look, Jalen Hurts, in my opinion, is a top five quarterback. I would say top five. If you want to argue top three, yeah. At the end of the day, winning matters. Doesn't matter how you do it, doesn't matter who your team, winning matters. And he's shown countless time after time, especially this season, that he can win the big games. Even the following the previous season, in 2022 when we lost to the Chiefs, that like he was still on a good team. Like the offensive line was still the same. Our defense was a step back, but throughout that year, he's shown that he can throw the ball, he can run, he can win when needed. So it's like I don't get the hate. Like I really just don't get the hate on Jalen Hurts. I honestly think it's more of a people don't like to see the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles are winning. Like this is our era. Maybe years later, 15 years now, we'll probably stink. I don't know. But for right now, this is the Philadelphia Eagles time. We have one of the best, no, I'm not gonna say one of, we have the best GM in all of football. Our team is organized from the top to the bottom. They're all on the same accord. So it's like, don't hate on the Eagles because you probably don't want to see Eagles fans all celebrating. Everybody hates Eagles fans. Everybody hates Philly fans. I get it. Um, Nobody likes us. We don't care. We don't give two shits. We don't care. But that's it. That's my rant. So look, so I was doing a little research, right? And this is all personal opinion too. I'm not a guy that's gonna dig into the stats. Like I'm talking as a person that has played fantasy football since I was 13. I'm 30, well, I'm about to be 35, but I'm 34 now. So you get the gist of it. I've been playing fantasy football for about it's about to be 22 seasons. So I have tons of experience. I've been playing fantasy football since we had the Maurice Jones-Drews, the Donovan McNabbs, the Antonio Gates, the LaDainian Thomasons, the Priest Holmes, like what is it? What was the Priest Holmes, Larry Johnson's. Like we look, I've been here. I've seen a lot in this game. But anyway, let's go to the potential breakouts. My potential breakouts for 2025, just doing based off research and just situation, it's a quarterbacks. I got three quarterbacks that are my potential breakouts for 2025. If you see me looking to the side, it's because I'm looking at my notepad notes I wrote. But so my first quarterback is Bryce Young. Bryce Young's on the Carolina Panthers. Last year during his rookie season, it just like it didn't go well. Like at the beginning, it didn't go well for him. He was inconsistent. He was damn near horrible, horrible enough to where they had to bench him. Like everybody was calling him a bust and all this other stuff. They had to bench him. And then something changed. Andy Dalton, he was playing good, or you can say average to good. I wouldn't say great, but he was playing good enough to be like, okay, we're gonna rock with Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton got injured, and Bryce Young came back, and it seemed like he had a renewed sense of focus. When I watched the Eagles play Carolina, Carolina gave us a run for our money. Like their defense wasn't all that, but what I've seen from Bryce Young, ability to get out the pocket, scramble, he made throws. His throwing form. When I looked at him, his throwing form is a funny form because it looks like he's throwing somewhere different, but it can just end somewhere else. So he played well. He gave us a run for our money. We seen the Bryce Young that he can be. And then you talk about the last 6 weeks. Was it the 6 weeks? No, it was week 13 or week 18. He was the QB6. During the offseason, Carolina has made a point to improve the O-line. They have drafted that wide receiver guy. I don't know how to pronounce his name. So if you're watching the video, just let me know how to say it. I think it's like Tet Tor or something, McMillan or something. Wide receiver that he wanted. He requested that. I seen a post, I believe on Facebook. It was saying that he asked for that guy. So the Carolina Panthers are obviously trying to build around him. They got him a nice young wide receiver weapon. He still has Jalen Croker. He still has Xavier Legette. The offensive line is improved. They're improved on the defense. They have a solid running back core with Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. I should even say, you know what? Let me say Chuba Hubbard first and Rico Dowdle. Now, when it comes to like fantasy football, Chuba Hubbard's the number one back in Carolina. There's no doubt in that. Rico Dowdle is going to be a, backup, change of pace back and everything. But like from a real life perspective, this can help improve um this can help improve Bryce Young's ceiling. I believe that last year, if you look across the scoring in fantasy football, he was the number 20, the QB 20, and that probably got boosted because of how his last 5 weeks went. Um, so it's like, here's what I'm saying. They believe in this guy. And it looked like during the second half of the season, Bryce Young believes in himself. So he believes in himself. I believe that he's riding a high of, being able to figure it out in some type of way. He's still like he's not a finished product. He still has long ways to go before we really see that. But it looks like it's going good. Like the vibes in Carolina are good. And usually, if you see his weapons, Jalen Croker, Xavier Legette, they're young wide receivers that he's going to continue to build with. And then you have the new addition of Tetora McMillan, who is a receiver known for, not dropping the ball. I believe that it's going to be a good year for the Carolina Panthers. Am I saying they're a playoff team? No, but I believe maybe in the right circumstances happen, maybe they could challenge, threaten for one of them wild card spots or even sneak in. But it all depends on Bryce Young and him breaking out. And I do believe that he can break out um for the 2025 season. And when I say breakout, I'm not saying like top five quarterback. I'm saying going from 20 to maybe 10. Like if you can, like Bryce Young is probably going to be one of them QBs. If you're really taking a shot, you believe in your drafting, you can play wait at QB to get Bryce Young. Because I don't think Bryce Young, um, people are going to be jumping out the way to get him as their first QB. Now, if you do single QBs leagues, you can probably have him as a backup. You draft somebody maybe like, let's say you draft Lamar, maybe within the third, fourth round, or even you take him early, maybe first or second. You can back him up with Bryce Young a little later. And if something happens to Lamar or whatever unforeseen circumstances happen, maybe Bryce Young's already having a breakout. Maybe that's a player, he's having a breakout. Somebody needs a QB or wants to trade you. You can trade Bryce Young and maybe just get another QB off the waiver wire. So, yeah, I got like, I would say like, I'm not jumping off the wall, I'm not jumping off the couch for Bryce Young in terms of, if he falls to me, he's going to be on some of my teams. He's already on one of my dynasty teams. If he falls to me, I will take him on a good amount of teams. I do a good amount of leagues, so I don't mind taking him as a backup QB, or even a starting QB. It just depends on your league settings, roster structure, and what you want to do. Like people can win fantasy football leagues and have a QB that's a top 10, the top 15 QB, and long as their wide receivers, running back, or tight end shows some type of semblance of production, they should be straight. So I think he's one of them candidates that you can look you can look at and you can be like, yeah, Bryce Young has the potential to break out. I really believe he does have a potential to break out. I believe that the Carolina Panthers are moving in the right direction. I believe that, they're focusing on improving around him, getting him better help at offensive line, improving the defense, giving him more opportunities to be on the field. I think that's going to help out. And I think like his potential is like top 10 QB. I believe he can be in that top 10 to top 12 range. So we got to see. We got to see with him. But yeah, Bryce Young, my first potential breakout candidate. Um, Second, is another QB. This is the QB edition, as we know. This is the QB edition, as we know. I have to go Drake May. Drake May, we've seen flashes of him. He has kind of like gunslinger mentality. He wants to throw the ball. I believe that the Patriots have been building around him all offseason. They have worked to improve the offensive line. I believe their tackle with the fourth pick, Will Jackson, who said that he will die for his quarterback. They improved the offensive line. They improved the defense. Additions like Robert Spillane from the Raiders, who had a breakout the last two seasons. And I think what they want to do is, and then also, they traded for Stephon Diggs. Did they trade for Stephon Diggs? No, I believe they signed him. Sorry, they didn't trade for him. They signed him, I believe. But they got him a weapon. They also drafted Travion Henderson, which is basically that's a wake up call for Ramondre Stevenson. So the Patriots are trying to build around him. They have actively tried to improve the offensive line, even though it's still got some questions. They have actively tried to improve the offensive line. They have actively tried to improve the defense. When you look at the team, you got wide receivers like Jalen Polk, Demario Douglas, I believe Kendrick Bourne, and Stephon Diggs. Now, Stephon Diggs is coming off an ACL injury, so we gotta keep that in mind. But I do believe that if Stephon Diggs is at least 85% fully healthy, he's going to make Drake May a better quarterback. And usually, when it comes to fantasy football, we see this, and we've seen this over the last few years. Here's the formula when it comes to QBs, and most of the times it works. QBs plus off-season weapons and help, whether it's a wide receiver, running back, usually equals fantasy football success. We've seen it with Jalen Hurts. The first year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl with them against the Kansas City Chiefs. What they do, they traded for AJ Brown. They already had Devontae. AJ Brown opened up the field for everybody. He opened up the field for Dallas Goedert. He opened up the field for Devontae Smith, he was a major part, and he gave Jalen Hurts more confidence to be, more accurate, to know that AJ Brown got me. I think that if Stephon Diggs is close to fully healthy or even fully healthy, he's going to give Drake May that same confidence. I believe that the Patriots are going to literally try to air the ball out this year. They're going to try to have it to where it's like we're here, like Drake May's here, like we're going to rock with him. So I believe that the offensive line should be improved. I believe that the RBs will probably be better because of the offensive line. For the record, I don't have no faith in Ramondre Stevenson. He's draftable, yes. And this is just a tidbit. I'm just jumping off of the topic a little bit. He's draftable, yes, but over the last few years, it's not working out. Like you draft for Ramondre Stevenson, everybody drafts for Ramondre Stevenson with these hopes that he's going to do what he did, and I believe it was his first year. It's not that now, and maybe Ramondre Stevenson just needs to change the scenery. We don't know, but he seems to be on the outside, like looking in with the Patriots. Like the Patriots, you've seen reports over last season. They've considered benching him. They had Antonio Gates start the game off, even though Ramondre Stevenson got more carries, and then now they have Travion Henderson. Travion Henderson, make no mistake about it, he was brought in to take Ramondre Stevenson's job. Like Ramondre Stevenson will start off the year as a starter, but if he's not on fire, I believe that by week 5, week 6, maybe even week 7, we're going to see Travion Henderson slowly take that role. Like, but Drake May is a young guy, and when you add veteran wide receivers like Stephon Diggs, he's not. I wouldn't say he's in his prime anymore, but he's still serviceable enough. He's the best wide receiver on that team. Drake May is going to look for him. And if Stephon Diggs is any semblance of fully healthy, it's going to work out majority of the times. Like the Patriots have added move a lot of pieces on defense, added their offensive line. So they're trying to give Drake May ample opportunity possibly to be on the field and make plays. And I believe that Drake May will make plays. Last year the Patriots finished 4-13. Um, their defense was below average. Their offense was inconsistent. You got Mike Vrabel in there as the new coach. So Vrabel comes off as aggressive. I believe that he's going to be aggressive. I believe he's going to be aggressive, and they're going to pass. I think they're going to balance it out, but I believe they're going to lean more towards passing. And I believe that if everything goes according to plan for the Patriots, we might see a team that's probably like I'm not going to say they're going to make the playoffs. I would say they will probably be more competent. We might see like a 7 or a 8-win Patriot team on a high end, maybe 9, maybe sneak into the wild card. We don't know. I don't really think I don't see I don't see the playoffs of Patriots, but I do see them being a more competitive team than last year, and I see Drake May potentially being amongst that for him, I think he was the QB 23 last year. So if a breakout for me, I believe he would have to jump at least like I would say about 13 spots. If he can be that QB 10, QB 12 range, I think that's a breakout for him. I think on the high end, if everything works out, he can probably be like, like top 10 QB. So he's another one of my potential breakouts for the 2025 season. So we done went through potential breakouts with the QBs. We got Bryce Young. We got we've got Bryce Young, Drake May, and here's another one, and it's another young quarterback. This quarterback is JJ McCarthy. JJ McCarthy had a he just had a unfortunate injury last season. He was scheduled. I'm pretty sure he was going to start the year. I believe that JJ McCarthy was the number 2 pick for the Vikings last season, but I think it was during training camp. He tore his ACL, and it sucked because he's a QB that has a lot of potential. But out of all the QBs I listed on this list, between Bryce Young and Drake May, JJ McCarthy is, I believe, has the highest ceiling. Um, I believe that if everything goes right, JJ McCarthy could be a top five to top 10 quarterback. And we're talking about fantasy football. We're not talking about like real life perspective. We talking about, fantasy football, the numbers you can do with the QBs and the position players. So JJ McCarthy is on a Vikings team that has made moves. Once again, QBs plus weapons equals fantasy football success. They are weapons galore. They have made moves to improve the defense. Made moves to improve the offensive line. I believe, and then you have the weapons that's already there. You have Justin Jefferson, Jettas, got Justin Jefferson. You got Jordan Addison. You have Aaron Jones. You have what's his name? TJ Hawkinson. He's already in a ready-made system to be successful. All he has to do is not mess it up. The Vikings offense is a good offense, and they have weapons. They're a good to great offense. We've seen Sam Darnold have success with the Vikings offense, and nobody was expecting that. So if Sam Darnold, and look, I- I'm I didn't have I don't think I really had any shares of Sam Darnold on any of my teams last year, and I was cool with that. I was glad that he had like a breakout year, and just for fantasy football purposes, that was good to see. But me personally, with Sam Darnold, I don't agree that's gonna like replicate. I believe he's on the Seahawks now. I don't think that his same success from last season is going to translate to this season. So basically, I'm like, look, let's be real about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold he started with the Jets. He sucked with the Jets. He became a journeyman quarterback. He was on Carolina, I believe, as well. Didn't make no noise there. He sucked everywhere he went, and he finally got an opportunity in a somewhat um, good organization, and he finally showed off. But like from a fantasy football perspective, I'm not expecting Sam Darnold. I'm not expecting Sam Darnold next season to do that. Maybe he could have changed. Maybe he could have be like, really turned the page. And maybe I could be wrong. I don't know. If he does do good with Seattle next year, then so be it. But if you come into this year and you believe that JJ McCarthy, who is a young, promising QB prospect who at this moment in his career has more potential to Sam Darnold, can't be similar to what Sam Darnold did or even better. I don't know what you're thinking. Like, the Vikings team, and look, the Vikings team is ready to win. They don't have stuff that go their way, but they're ready to win. They are contenders in the NFC conference, maybe like on a short list of possible contenders to even make the Super Bowl. I believe they can do it. I don't know if that's going to happen with JJ McCarthy's first season as a starting quarterback, but here's what I do believe. I do believe that with them weapons that they have, JJ McCarthy should be more than comfortable slinging the ball, making great plays. Um, being able to, lean on a run game a little bit, being comfortable enough to be, at best, I think his ceiling, if everything plays off right, I'm not gonna say everything goes right, but just, you know, if the game script is good, the offensive game plan is good, I believe he has that top five to top 10 QB type range of outcomes. On the low end, maybe QB 20, maybe, it's his rookie season. He's learning. He does good things, but um I mean, well, it's his second year now, it's rookie year, but he's doing, good things, but he still has ways to improve. That can happen as well. So on the low end, I say top, QB 20 to QB 25, but I don't believe that that's not I don't believe that that's what's going to happen. I believe that he's going to be more of on the high end, like top 10 to top five QB. If everything plays out, you got Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones, Jordan Addison. He has weapons. So I look. We're going to look back at this video a year from now, and we're going to see if I was right about it. I believe that I believe that I will be somewhat in the ballpark, but we'll see. But it's just my opinion. I believe JJ McCarthy is prime for a potential second year breakout. And then also another point to add to the fact is that JJ McCarthy was about to be rushed into not rushed into, but starting from the year, but he had a year to sit. So he had a chance to soak up the game, like soak up the gameplay, soak up what the teams was doing, learn from the sidelines, learn from film. So that's extra knowledge. So now it's like, when he goes out on the field, he's going to have this extra knowledge. He's probably talked to teammates, probably been, positive influence in the QB room, and all this other stuff. So I think he's ready to explode. He's ready to go out there and play with Justin Jefferson and all them weapons. If I was a QB, look, I think Justin Jefferson is going to be fine this year as well with JJ McCarthy, so I think it's going to be a good year. So those are basically my top three potential breakouts on a QB edition. I will be providing more content and have some more videos a little later, but for right now, this was what was on my mind. It's May 2nd right now, and look, I am a fantasy degenerate. It's like all I'm doing is thinking about fantasy football. So I'm gonna provide more videos. We're gonna have more content. If you followed this page before, it used to be Broad Street Bullies Fantasy Football. I kind of changed it, rebranded it a little bit. It's named the Philly Fantasy Drone Podcast. So like and subscribe, comment, tell me what you think about the video. I'm kind of, got to build the content back up, get more consistent and everything. But I'm going to be doing content year in, year out, fantasy football season, fantasy football off season, and we're going to rock. Also, I do got a Facebook fantasy football group, Broad Street Bullies Fantasy Football. Just type the name in. Is a small group. I commission leagues, pay leagues. I commission some free leagues, but I'm kind of more into pay leagues. But I commission pay leagues. If you watch this video and you find a group on Facebook, Broad Street Bullies Fantasy Football, just shoot me a message. I'll respond. Shoot me a message saying you found a video on YouTube. If you're interested in getting in some leagues, trust me, around June, July, when people start filling leagues, spots will become open. People leave, people come and go. I'm all for it. And also, as the videos get more and more, I will be introducing certain stuff about fantasy football that people might not do. People are not like privy to, but there's a lot of different leagues I'm in, different concepts, different type of ideas I'm in, and I want people to basically get knowledge of that so they can join that stuff, and we'll talk more. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Um, more videos coming soon. I'm out. Peace.